Coming up, from the 4th Masters of the FIBA 3x3 World Tour 2019 season in Saskatoon. As we take our talents to North America, we pay tribute to 3x3 pioneers Team Saskatoon who have helped put 3x3 on the map in Canada. Retiring 3x3 great Michael Linklater reflects on a storied career with Team Saskatoon and what it means to be an ambassador for his country. And we sit down with the brain of Team Amsterdam, Aaron Royer, who happens to study psychology on and off the court. Plus, you know you gotta stay tuned to the end of the magazine. We got a can't miss top 5 plays of the tournament. It's quick, it's epic, it's Olympic. Welcome to the world of FIBA 3x3 basketball, a game played with non-stop music on a half court between two teams of 3 players aiming to hit the 21-point mark with 10 minutes on the game clock. Previously at the FIBA 3x3 World Tour, World number 1 Novi Sad proved in Mexico City why they are the best 3x3 team in the world after winning their 2nd straight Masters in a row. The Serbs were just too good for New York Harlem in the final, with Dusan Bullet firing on all cylinders to win MVP. But the good news for their rivals is Novi Sad won't be in Canada. It's time to crown a new champ, y'all. Can mighty Lehman break through? Or can a North American team finally end Europe's dominance? It's time to find out. Edmonton had more hype than the new Top Gun trailer, but they first had to get past number 2 seeds Amsterdam in a rematch of the Chengdu quarterfinals. Buckets were hard to come by until Jordan Jensen-White went right to get Edmonton on the board. The Dutchmen were tight on D though, and they had a 2-point lead at the midway point when Aaron Royer splashed one from deep. This only energized the Canadians though, as they scored the next 10 points. White hit insane step backs, and Edmonton were passing like prime Steve Nash. When Steve Sir started screaming, "Yes, sir," you already knew it was a wrap. Edmonton made it a perfect day with an easy victory over compatriots Winnipeg. Crowd loyalties were split, but the noise was louder than a Bieber concert when high flyer Jelaine Price made Jordan Jensen-White look like Walter White with this filthy facial. White responded smoothly, and Kyle Landry beasted inside to finish with a game-high 10 points as Edmonton win it before the time limit. Without their arch-rivals Novi Sad to worry about, Lehman were eyeing some silverware, but they were tested immediately against Kron. Mitsu Julevic put the moves on down low to give the Slovenians an early edge, but Lehman rediscovered their game through some pretty passing. And then the birthday boy, Mihailo Vasic, did the rest. He roared inside like he was a Lion King to ensure Kron wouldn't ruin his party. Lehman made it 2 for 2 against retiring local hero Saskatoon, but it was not easy. Michael Linklater might almost be shorter than Tom Cruise, but there was no stopping the little man when he gets to the rim. The retiring Willie Murdo showed he still got some game at 49 years old, as the locals could smell an upset. But Lehman, they stepped it up with Stefan Stojic, aka Mr. Robot, unstoppable at the rim, and flamethrower Stefan Kojic finishing things off with the ridiculous Dirk Nowitzki one-legged fadeaway to end Saskatoon's hopes for a fairy tale upset. Saskatoon bid farewell on the tour against Kron, but they made sure they left as warriors. Troy Gotzelik got it down to 1 in the final minute, but Igor Trotnik had his own block party to shut the door on the Canadians. Link had one last bucket to end a memorable career, but Kron prevailed. Thanks for the memories, Link. Team Saskatoon. Last but not least, it was East Coast against West Coast. American teams Princeton against 12 seed San Francisco 3-ball fought it out for a quarter-final berth. Nothing gets by San Francisco's 7-footer Josh Sharma, not even dunk machine Zaire Carrington. Sharma also had the O to put the newbies up by 2 with just over a minute left. Kareem Maddox responded with the 2-piece, but San Francisco made a statement to prove they are the real deal. Even though they had 2 World Cup gold medalists, it's goodbye Princeton. It was an exciting day 1 in Saskatoon, 7 of the top 8 seeds made it through, with surprise package San Francisco 3-ball earning the quarterfinal spot. Meantime, it's goodbye to Princeton and Canadian teams Winnipeg and Old Montreal. And for one final time, see you later, Team Saskatoon. Saskatoon is one of the original 3x3 teams, and quite clearly, one of the most beloved. The two-time Masters champs have been a part of the tour every year and have become global ambassadors for 3x3. After a spectacular ride, how would they describe 3x3 in one word?
Physical, fast, exhausting, intense, very, very intense.
Intense.
It's awesome.
Saskatoon have created countless memories on the court, but what's the most memorable?
Probably just being with the boys on the road. I mean, nothing replaces that, to be able to travel the world and the greatest thing, play all teams that are all over from across the world.
It was probably when we were in San Juan and I was sitting there looking at the venue and looking at this tournament, playing in this international basketball tournament, looking at this giant cruise ship and how well we did, and we got to go on to Istanbul for the World Championships.
We had phenomenal games against Denver where we just played our best, and I think we were down 6-16, something along that, when we were in the Chicago Masters, and we ended up coming back and winning the game. And again, we played them in the World Tour Finals in Sendai, and I think we won 21-3.
Went into the tournament in Lausanne because we had traveled, we were over there for over, I think 2 weeks, and we were coming in second in various tournaments, and then eventually we finally won the one in Lausanne.
Just getting to hang out with some of my best friends, and there was never a stress about the stats or points. It was just about winning as a team. The trust you develop with these guys is just so awesome. That's definitely one of my favorite memories. I'll always have her.
Top highlight for sure would be playing in Saskatoon in front of the crowd, in front of the people. Having the game in your home city, in your home country, it was a really good experience for us and for the community. Yeah, that was one of my top ones.
Even more important than their incredible success, the players have represented Saskatoon with pride and passion to inspire a nation.
We grew up in Saskatoon, and to carry that name with us across the world, and now for that to be somewhat of a household name associated with FIBA 3x3, it's something to be proud of. We grew up here, this is where we learned how to play basketball, so to take that name with us where we've gone has been tremendous.
Here's a look at the quarterfinal bracket with 7 of the top seeds making it through, along with San Francisco 3-ball. First up, it's a Stojacic showdown. Can Stefan's Lehman move a step closer to winning their first Masters title of the season by beating Strahinja's Virbis? Virbis showed they were the real deal, with the give and go between Ivan Popovic and Danilo Mijatovic proving hard to stop. Their D was giving Lehman fits too, and Popovic made sure that Mr. Robot had a malfunction. But when Stojacic is given space, you already know it is over. Lehman threatened to pull away with this thing, but Virbis had the answers and they could taste a major upset. Mr. Robot and Maxim Kovacevic hit back and the score was suddenly even. Both teams had chances to win, with none easier than Strahinja's missed bunny. But in OT, Virbis had nerves like Djokovic's down match point, and Marko Brankovic didn't waste the opportunity. Virbis progressed while Lehman missed a chance to go on top of the World Tour standing.
Now, who would you like to meet in the semifinal, Zemun or Amsterdam?
Of course, Team Zemun, because they are our very good friends.
Number 2 seeds Amsterdam had hopes of a title, and they needed to get past a confident Zemun squad. Aaron Royer made a perfect start, but sharpshooter Nebojša Bošković replied. Buckets were hard to come by in this one, so Nikola Vukovic decided to make things a little easier and play himself some bully ball. Nothing was falling for Amsterdam until DeMeo Vanderhorst found the shooter's manual. He switched it to 2K video game mode, and suddenly Amsterdam had a handy 6-point lead. When Jesper Jobse went to work, it was a done dilly. Amsterdam progressed to the Final Four. It was a battle of North America as Edmonton faced off with day one surprise package San Francisco 3-ball. The Canadians were favored at home, but they were not ready for Sharmageddon. The 7-footer dominated around the rim, but Edmonton responded by dropping bombs from beyond the arc. The Americans were in a 5-point hole before Henry Caruso put poor old Jordan Jensen-White on another knee. It gave San Francisco new life. The time was right for Frankie Ferrari to put his foot on the gas. Firstly, he revved his engine. Then he splashed one from the logo and topped all of that with an utterly filthy dime that I still can't believe he pulled off. San Francisco scored 8 straight points and there was no stopping them. A gorgeous Ferrari lob to Sharma put the finishing touches on a 20-15 upset. Welcome to 3x3 big time, baby. San Francisco 3-ball beat Edmonton, making them lose once again in the quarterfinals.
Feeling good. We got off to a bit of a slow start early in this game, but we battled back, guys made plays, and we're happy to move on.
Slovenian pride was on the line between Piran and Kran, and this one had it all. Trotnik had the liftoff to get Kran rolling, but it wasn't long before Piran's pretty passing took over. Gasper Obnik, aka the teacher, found creative ways to score and was having more fun than Shaq at Tomorrowland dishing out these dimes. But Kran, they wasn't intimidated, with Minsu Julovic dragging them back in the game, and then Trotnik leveling things up in the dying seconds. A Tissot buzzer beater loomed, but a foul by Boris Jerson proved costly. The teacher went to school at the free throw line, and guess what? It's heartbreak for Kran.
The game with Team Kran, it's always neck to neck. We know each other so good. We practice together, so it just comes down to who wants it more, who got lucky.
The Shootout contest, the moment we crown the best sniper in the whole tournament. After failing to defend his crown in Mexico City, Steve Sir was not a part of the shootout, but his teammate Kyle Landry superbly stepped up. The outdoor setting in Saskatoon made it difficult for any records, but Landry set the pace after a cold start. The big man hit his flow with 4 makes on the left rack, then made 1 money ball to finish with 8 points. Strahinja Stojic came closest, needing 2 money balls to overhaul Landry, but he could only hit 1. With a top score of 8 points, Kyle Landry, he's your shootout winner of the Saskatoon Masters contest. Michael Linklater is small in size, but dude has a giant heart. Unquestionably, the retiring Saskatoon star has been one of 3x3's greatest warriors. With the Saskatoon Masters being a fitting farewell for a great career, Linklater admits he'll miss 3x3.
What I'll miss most is going to be the community of 3x3. The staff behind the cameras, behind the events, the other teams that we play against on the court, but then being able to just socialize after the games. It's really become somewhat of a brotherhood.
A proud family man, Linklater's looking forward to spending more time with his kids.
My kids have always known me to be a basketball player, and they're at the age now where they want to be playing basketball. So it's kind of the time for me to be hanging it up and being able to focus more on them. They haven't been able to travel with me for a lot of the places I've gone to compete, but them watching me online has been something that when I've come home, they've shared with me.
Ever the lovable teammate, Linklater believes developing chemistry is the key for a successful 3x3 team.
The beautiful thing about the game of 3x3 is that you get to choose your own teammates. And so the amount of time that you spend together on the world tour is countless hours. So it's really important to have good relationships with your teammates. And we see that with some of the world tour's top teams like these guys. Their chemistry is phenomenal and they play well together.
Now, even though he's had loads of success on the world tour, one painful memory is always gonna haunt him.
The World Tour Finals in Sendai, where we were right there and just ran out of gas. I remember playing the game before and it really took a lot out of us, and Novi Sad really took it to us. So just wishing that we would have had one World Tour Finals under our belt, but overall the experience for playing this game has been phenomenal, and of course I would encourage any players who are looking to get into it to really strongly consider. 3x3 in every community, in every city, as a great way to develop basketball players in general. I think it's a great game that should be worldwide in terms of every different program. So that's something that I would like to see in 20 years.
It's time for Saskatoon to rock with the Slam Dunk Contest, featuring Canadian dunkers Justin Darlington and Daniel Cabella, along with American Connor Barth. Dunk legend Darlington was the favorite, and he proved exactly why with a windmill over Barth to earn a perfect score in the best dunk of the semifinal. Cabella and Barth couldn't be separated and needed a dunk-off to advance. Barth made a strong case with a powerful one-handed Yandy off the glass from his ankle, but Cabella swayed the judges with a reverse flush off the catch to earn a spot in the final. Unfortunately for Cabella, he had used all his petrol tickets. He had no liftoff left. This was Darlington's stage, and he would do what he wanted with it. A spectacular half cradle over the top of Cabella almost earned a perfect score, but he was just getting started. Darlington's next slam was the best of the lot. His ridiculous cartwheel dunk that should never be tried at home, by the way.
Justin, just fly,
Justin, Just Fly Darlington is back with a bang and takes home the $2,500. Only 2 of the top 4 ranked teams made it through to the semifinals, with Vitebsk and San Francisco 3-ball surprising as lower seeds. Amsterdam were the highest ranked team left, but Vitebsk had been on a tear recently. The Stars came out for this one, and DeMail Vanderhorst is impossible to stop when he goes right. But Amsterdam forgot to cover the lane on D, and Strahinja Stojicic made him pay. It was a 2-piece battle-off between Ivan Popovic and Aaron Royer, and you knew this one was going to be an epic finish. Danilo Mijatovic looked to be the hero for the Serbs, but the big fella ran out of gas in the dying seconds. Dime took advantage, and we got ourselves in overtime. But Mijatovic refueled and led Vitebsk to a place in the final. The number 2 seeds Amsterdam were out of there.
Big respect to Team Amsterdam, they're a great team, and we played our best game.
This was always going to be a mouth-watering second semifinal. Veterans Piran against new sensation San Francisco 3-ball USA. Piran made the early jump with Simon Finsgar, aka the Sphinx, splashing one, and the Slovenians led it by 5 points. San Francisco finally woke up, Henry Caruso igniting the team with a big throwdown. And of course, it wasn't long until 7-footer Josh Sharma had the rims rocking, as the Americans were right back in it. The Slovenians had to use all their experience to stay in front though, and the Sphinx delivered with a 2-piece under serious heat. The trusted combination of Frankie Ferrari and Sharma worked like a charm, and we had another close finish. In the dying seconds, Olin Carter missed the scoop layup that was halfway down, then rimmed out, but a crazy Ferrari 2-piece made it a 1-point game. After being fouled, Gasper Obnik was colder than a polar bear's toenails and closed out San Francisco's dream tournament. Piran moved closer to ending a 2-year Masters drought.
Pretty excited, especially because we love Canada, we like the people, everybody is just cheering for basketball, basically, so we hope we can give them one last final dance.
Aaron Royer sparks Team Amsterdam into action with his dynamic play. Off the court, the softly spoken star hits the books hard studying psychology. Addicted to sports at an early age, Royer found his true calling with 3x3.
I was more of a soccer player. I was playing on the streets a lot, but my brother was playing basketball, and my father was coaching him, so they introduced me to the game, and I fell in love with it, and since then I've been playing. So I think I just like sports, but I think basketball is a really quick game, and 3x3 is even quicker. So first of all, I was a little bit skeptical about it, but I think my first tournament was Sydney, and I really enjoyed it.
Even though he takes a beating against bigger opponents on the court, Royer uses his speed and smarts to his advantage.
For me, the hardest thing is the physical part, because I'm a little bit smaller, I think, and I always have to fight against these big guys. But at the same time, it also gives me an advantage on the outside, I think, because they have to defend me on the outside, and I'm much quicker than them.
Royer has quickly become an ambassador for hoops in the Netherlands and wears the famous orange jersey with pride when he represents his country.
The level of basketball in Holland is not very high, so I feel really lucky that I can play at this level. And I played it for 2 or 3 months, and then I already had a chance to play in the World Cup, and I thought it was just amazing. Atmosphere was amazing, Manila was amazing, and I think we controlled the whole final till the last 2 minutes, so it also was a big learning experience, and it helped us to win some other tournaments after that.
Away from the court, Royer studies psychology, which he puts to good use on the court.
I'm really interested in how the mind works, and that started in basketball because you have a lot of mental aspects, but also you look at the different characters and you try to see how you can approach different players.
And who's the mentally strongest team in 3x3?
The strongest mental opponent so far is the #1 team, so I have to say the Novi Sad team.
Fueled by his studies, Royer has put more emphasis into trying to master the mental side of the game.
Before the game and during the warm-up, I'm trying to visualize what's going to happen in the game, and it's been helping me a lot since I've been doing it. I always try to visualize something positive. I tell myself to give 100% on the court. Even if you lose, you can look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you have done everything you could. And sometimes you lose, sometimes you win, doesn't matter.
It's time to crown new champs in 2019. Piran were looking for their first Masters title in 2 years, while Virbis were looking for their first ever. Big man Danilo Mijatovic was unstoppable early, and his towering presence was making it hard for Piran to score. But no D can stop miracle shots from Adin Kadgic, and Piran's luck started to turn. Mijatovic was doing his best to keep it tight, but the Serbs finally ran out of steam. As he has all tournament long, Gasper Ovnik, aka the teacher, schooled his opponents, and the Slovenians started to pull away. Piran's new anthem should be Jay-Z's Young Forever, as the ageless wonder somehow got even stronger, and Adin Kadgic finished things off in style.
Kapga, he says, I'm done with this. I'm finished with it. Piran, handle business in Saskatoon.
Piran celebrated wilder than Woody Harrelson at Wimbledon and capped off a flawless tournament. Ovnik won the MVP after leading all scorers in Saskatoon.
Finally, after 2 years, we won another Masters. Hopefully not the last one this year.
Piran in the 2-year drought, winning the 3rd ever Masters title. All right. It's the moment you all been waiting for. The sublime, the ridiculous. They're all in the top 5 plays of the Saskatoon Masters. First off at number 5, somebody call an ambulance because Jelaine Price put Jordan Jensen-White in a body bag.
Oh, JJ, we might need to go sit down for a moment and rethink our actions.
At number 4, retiring hero Michael Linklater wound back the clock, splitting the D like a dinner bill.
That looked like 2014 Linklater. That was nastier than toothpaste and orange juice. I love that move.
Third on the list, Canada was under threat all Masters from Sharma-geddon. You better look out.
It ain't safe. Oh, it ain't safe.
At number 2, it's that man again, Josh Sharma. Who's your zaddy? Touching more iron than a dry cleaner's. Taking out the top spot is Frankie Ferrari. He saw it like a psychic. The no look behind the back. Who does he think he is? Dushan Bullet or something?
Look at that. Hey, that's a contestant for one of the top passes of the year.
We'll be right back. Just around the corner, the 5th Masters shifts to Europe and will be held August 3rd and 4th from beautiful Prague. Iran will have a shot at back-to-back titles, but the top 3 teams in the world, Novi Sad, Lehman, and Riga Ghetto, might have something to say about that. Remember, you can follow it live with the hashtag 3x3WT on FIBA 3x3 social media channels on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat.